Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we need to talk about something really important. If you're getting Social Security benefits, or if you have loved ones who do, you absolutely need to hear this. There's been some serious buzz about new regulations that could actually limit how seniors access their own Social Security money. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about potential restrictions on your money that you earned through decades of hard work. Now, I know that sounds pretty alarming, and honestly, when I first heard about this, I had to dig deep to get to the truth. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's walk through this together. I promise to break it all down in plain English so you know exactly what's happening and what it means for you. So here's what's been causing all the commotion. There are discussions happening at the federal level about implementing new protective measures for Social Security beneficiaries. Sounds nice, right? Well, let me tell you what that actually means. The idea behind these measures is to protect seniors from financial fraud and scams. And listen, we all know that's a real problem. According to the Federal Trade Commission, people over 60 lost more than $1.7 billion to fraud in 2022 alone. That's billion with a B, folks. It's heartbreaking, and it's happening every single day. But here's where things get tricky. Some of the proposed solutions could end up creating more problems than they solve. One proposal would require additional verification steps before large withdrawals from accounts receiving Social Security deposits. Another would give banks more authority to flag and potentially delay suspicious transactions from these accounts. Now, on the surface, this might sound reasonable, but let me paint you a picture of what this could look like in real life. Imagine you're 72 years old, and you need to withdraw $3,000 to pay for an unexpected home repair. Under some of these proposed rules, your bank might flag this as unusual activity and require you to provide additional documentation, wait 24 to 48 hours for approval, answer detailed questions about your intended use of the money, possibly even get approval from a family member or designated representative. Here's another scenario. You want to help your grandchild with college expenses by giving them a gift of $5,000. This could trigger similar red flags and delays. The problem is obvious. It's your money that you earned. You shouldn't need anyone's permission to access it. Let's look at some real numbers here because they tell an important story. Right now, about 67 million Americans receive Social Security benefits. That's roughly 1 in 5 people in our entire country. The average monthly benefit is around $1,900 for retirees. Now here's what concerns me. According to a recent AARP survey, 89% of seniors said they want full control over their finances for as long as possible. They don't want unnecessary barriers between them and their own money. But the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau reported that financial institutions already file over 4 million suspicious activity reports each year. Adding more restrictions could multiply that number dramatically. Think about it this way. If you've been managing your money responsibly for 70+ years, why should you suddenly need extra approvals to access your own Social Security benefits? The Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta did a study that found seniors are actually less likely to make impulsive financial decisions compared to younger adults. So these blanket restrictions don't even match the data about how seniors actually handle money. Now, I want to be completely transparent about my sources here. This information comes from several places. First, there are ongoing discussions in various congressional committees about Social Security modernization. These aren't secret meetings. The transcripts are public, but they're buried in government websites that most people never see. Second, the Social Security Administration has been conducting stakeholder meetings with banks and financial institutions. Again, these are documented, but you have to know where to look. Third, several advocacy groups like AARP, the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, and the Senior Citizens League have been tracking these developments and raising concerns. I've also been following reports from financial industry publications that discuss how banks are preparing for potential new compliance requirements. The key thing to understand is that nothing is set in stone yet. These are proposals and discussions, not final laws. But that's exactly why we need to pay attention now, while there's still time to have our voices heard. Let me share some stories that illustrate why this matters so much. Take Margaret from Ohio. She's 78, lives alone, and is sharp as a tack. Last month, her furnace broke in the middle of winter. The repair cost $2,400, and she needed it fixed immediately. Under current rules, she went to her bank, withdrew the money, and got her heat working again the same day. Under some of the proposed rules, Margaret might have had to wait 2 days for approval, freeze in her house, and possibly even provide documentation about why she needed her own money for an emergency repair. Or consider Robert from Texas. He's 81 and wanted to surprise his wife with a special 55th anniversary trip. He withdrew $4,000 to pay for the cruise in cash because he prefers not using credit cards. With new restrictions, this simple act of love could become a bureaucratic nightmare. These aren't theoretical problems, folks. This is what daily life could look like for millions of seniors if we're not careful about how these protective measures are designed. Now, I want to be fair here. Nobody is sitting in Washington saying, let's make life harder for seniors. The people proposing these measures genuinely believe they're helping. Elder financial abuse is absolutely real and devastating. The National Council on Aging estimates that seniors lose $36 billion annually to financial scams and abuse. That's money that should be going to medications, food, housing, and quality of life. When someone's grandmother gets tricked into wiring $10,000 to fake IRS agents, it's heartbreaking and infuriating. We absolutely need better protections against these crimes. But here's the thing about good intentions. They don't automatically lead to good outcomes. The challenge is creating real protection without creating unnecessary barriers for the 95% of seniors who are managing their finances just fine. Thank you very much. So what can we actually do about this? I'm glad you asked, because sitting around worrying won't help anyone. First, stay informed. Follow this channel. I'll keep tracking these developments and breaking them down for you in plain English. Knowledge is power, and you can't fight what you don't understand. Second, contact your representatives. I know, nobody likes making those calls or writing those emails. But your senator and House representative work for you. Their staff keeps track of how many constituents contact them about specific issues. You don't need to write a novel. A simple message like, I'm a Social Security beneficiary in your district, and I'm concerned about proposed restrictions on accessing my benefits. Please ensure any new protections don't create unnecessary barriers for seniors managing their own finances. Third, talk to your family and friends. The more people who understand what's happening, the stronger our collective voice becomes. Fourth, consider joining advocacy organizations like AARP or the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. These groups have professional lobbyists who know how to navigate the political system. Here's what I really want to know from all of you watching. Have you or someone you know ever experienced problems accessing your own money at the bank? Maybe they flagged a withdrawal as suspicious, or made you jump through extra hoops for no good reason. And here's another question. What's the largest amount of your own money that you think you should be able to withdraw without anyone else's permission? $1,000? $5,000? $10,000? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your real-world experiences help me understand what's actually happening out there versus what the politicians think is happening. Also, if you've dealt with financial scams or fraud attempts, share that too. We need to understand both sides of this issue to find the right solutions. Now, I want to let you know what's coming up on the channel because we're going to stay on top of this story. Next week, I'm releasing a video about the specific steps you can take to protect yourself from Social Security scams without giving up control of your money. We'll cover the red flags to watch for, the questions you should never answer over the phone, and the legitimate ways the Social Security Administration actually contacts people. The following week, we're diving deep into your rights as a bank customer. Did you know you have specific legal protections when it comes to accessing your own deposits? Many people don't, and some banks count on that. I'm also working on a comprehensive guide to the best banks and credit unions for seniors, institutions that respect your independence while still offering real fraud protection. And here's something special I'm planning. I want to do a live Q&A session where we can discuss all your concerns about Social Security, banking, and financial independence. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll start setting it up. Before we wrap up, let me give you 3 things you can do right now to protect yourself and maintain your financial independence. First, document everything. If you ever have trouble accessing your money, write down the date, time, bank employee's name, and exactly what happened. This creates a paper trail if you need to file complaints later. Second, diversify your banking relationships. Don't keep all your money in one institution. Having accounts at 2 different banks or credit unions gives you options if one starts creating problems. Third, establish your competency. I know this sounds weird, but consider getting a letter from your doctor stating that you're mentally competent to manage your finances. It's not legally required, but it can be helpful if anyone ever questions your decision-making abilities. Look, here's the bottom line. The money in your Social Security account isn't the government's money that they're graciously letting you use. It's your money that you earned through decades of work. You paid into this system. You kept your end of the bargain, and you deserve to access your benefits with dignity and respect, not suspicion and bureaucratic roadblocks. The fight to maintain financial independence isn't just about money. It's about maintaining your dignity, your autonomy, and your right to make decisions about your own life. We can protect seniors from fraud and respect their independence at the same time. It's not an either-or situation, despite what some policymakers seem to think. But this is going to require all of us staying engaged, staying informed, and making our voices heard. If this video helped you understand what's happening, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps other people find this information when they need it. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I promise to keep bringing you the straight facts about issues that affect your financial security and independence. Share this video with anyone you know who receives Social Security benefits or cares about someone who does. The more people who understand what's happening, the better we can protect everyone's interests. Remember, staying informed isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about protecting all the seniors in your community who might not have access to this information. Thanks for watching, thanks for caring, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep standing up for your rights and take care of yourselves.